Aquí estamos en el Historic Landmark. Este es el Hotel Tobar, aquí en el Gran Cañón.
Okay. ¿Cómo se llama esta casa, José?
Esta casa creo que se llama Hopi House.
Ajá.
Hopi House,
Okay. ¿Cuál es la historia de esto?
No la sé.
Real fast. See them right through the tree. In fact, they stop down there. They about every 20-25 minutes they stop and rest the mules. They just stopped right now. You see them down there? Okay. There's another group somewhere, but I don't see them.
The lights that they're on.
Yeah, lots of hikers.
Said you can't be afraid of heights.
Okay, somebody asked where they started. Those mules that are going down there. If you look back across here, you can see the village area. That's where we just came from. And if you look straight across from us here, that's where the Bright Angel Lodge is. Okay, then just to the right of that's where the corral was I showed you as we went by. And that's where them mules started out. And you can see just this side of the Bright Angel Lodge over there, just down in those trees, there is a campground that will accommodate about 100 hikers. And if you see that trail going right out there on that flat mesa, it goes clear out there and you can see where it stops. Okay, if you walked out there where that stopped, that's where the one-day mules go. If you walked out there where that stopped and looked down where that thing stops, Colorado River is 1,300 feet straight. That is a place called Plateau Point down there, which is called Indian Gardens. It's 4.5 miles from the top, or the start of the trail. And they eat their lunch there. They then will get back up here about 3 o'clock, 3:15 today. If you got nothing to do, you want to get a few chuckles, go up there and watch them poor souls get off them mules after 7.5 hours. They don't do too good. Now, 95% of the hikers and the overnight mule trips, when they get down here to this Indian Gardens, if you look there, you can see there's a trail goes through those trees. And the trees kind of work their way down to the right of that mesa. That is the main hiking trail. That's where the hikers go. That's where the overnight mules go. And they will then, there's a side canyon down there. You can see where it's out in the sun, then kind of shaded. They go down there and they actually get down to the Colorado River, which we will see at the next stop, by the way. They get to the river, just about below Plateau Point there. They then will go to the right or upstream for 2 miles. And they go up, that's across that big flat mesa up there. Just beyond that, you see kind of a reddish rock formation. Okay, down below, we can't see it at the angle we're looking here, but there is a bridge across that river. For many years, that was the only bridge in 300 miles. And it's quite a bridge. It's called the Kaibab Suspension Bridge. That bridge is 440 feet long, and that baby is 5 feet wide. So you are not going to drive your car across it. It's just wide enough for a mule with a pack, a mule and a rider, a hiker with a pack. And to make it even more interesting, it's suspended 60 feet above the Colorado River. So it has a tendency to do this and this. And I'll tell you why it's there in a minute here. When they get across the river, they come back a mile on the other side of the little canyon down there at the bottom. And you can see there's a big canyon comes all the way down from the other side. If you can just kind of picture where that would hit that flat mesa down there at the bottom. This is where we have a hotel. Again, a very rustic hotel, a place called Phantom Ranch. And Phantom Ranch will accommodate about 100 people. Park Service also has a campground down there that will accommodate about 350 hikers. So it's quite a place. And as we're looking in there, we got a beautiful day here. As you're looking down in there, it doesn't matter whether it be summer, winter, day, or night. it will run 25 degrees warmer down there than we are. It gets hot during the summer. In fact, our average summer temperature down there is 105 to 110 degrees. We've hit 115 already this summer. Now up here we're much cooler. 75, 80 degrees is our normal temperature. Now this year we've been warmer. We're 85, 90. We've been 90 the last 3 or 4 weeks. But it's a little warmer than usual, but it also is warmer down there. Now, one of the reasons for these mules. Some of you were on when we went by the mule barn. I told you just a little bit about it. But one of the reasons those mules are such important people out here is that they do not allow any private or commercial airplane or helicopter below the rim in Grand Canyon National Park. Part of the reasons being those wind currents down in there are completely different than up here. Over the last 70, 80 years, this has been one of the deadliest stretches of air traffic in the United States. And we have had a lot of accidents, so 30, 40 years ago they started stopping them completely from going down in there. Most of the air up here is restricted. The big airlines can go 25,000 feet or above, they can go over it. They do allow the tour planes and the tour helicopters to go around the edges. And they have to stay 2,000 feet above the rim. And those are very good tours. If you've thought about it or would want it, they're excellent tours. But they cannot go below the rim, which is a safety factor. So it's good. But therefore, since they do that, how do we get our supplies down here to that Phantom Ranch and all that, those camping? Everything that goes in and out of here goes in and out on the back of mules. All of their food, all their supplies, all their material, the garbage comes back up out on the back of mules. So the mules really are very important. And half the time I just no more get that out of my mouth. Here comes the helicopter up out of it. Okay, Park Service keeps a couple of helicopters out. One during the winter, 2 in the summer when we're busier. They will go in with their helicopter for any type of an emergency. Medical emergency or somebody's lost or something, Park Service will go in there. If you were here 2 days ago, man, they were going in and out all day. But again, just to kind of give you an idea, we get 100,000 people a year that hike to the bottom of this canyon. We get 6 or 7 times that many go part way. We're down there a mile, 2 miles, 4.5 miles, whatever. Where you go down, turn around, come back, whatever you want to do. But it means we got close to 1 million people in and out of here in a year's time. And as you can't see, but those trails are very narrow and spots. This is the easy one here. So we do have accidents. And but they're very good at it. During the summer, they keep 3 rangers down the bottom of the canyon, and they patrol the 3 main trails, and they'll help anybody out if they have trouble or anything, get lost or can't figure out what's happening. Or if they hurt themselves, they'll call for help. So it works out real well. They do a super job.
What kind of birds are those?
Birds. That's raven. That's a raven. You looking for one of the condors? We do have some condors out here, but I haven't seen any this morning. They weren't here yesterday. So